Hello. How are you doing? How was your weekend? I went to the beach. I even went in the water. And for those of you who know me, you know that I am not a fan of cold water. The water is actually not too cold up here in Rhode Island. It's in the mid 70s, which generally is still too cold for me. But I couldn't resist going in because although the water, it's the pool water and whatnot in Texas is nice and warm, certainly not 75. My skin doesn't love chlorine, so I know chlorine is great to keep the germs down and stuff, but it's not awesome for me skin, and I get very itchy and dry pretty much immediately. So I actually consider it an allergic reaction. So I just lay by the pool a lot. And there's nothing like a beach tan. And I've been having a lovely time here in Rhode Island. It's been absolutely beautiful, and the summers in New England can be spectacular. And I know up here it's been pretty rainy, so I don't know what the weather is in your neck of the woods, but I hope, I know that the out west we've had a lot of fires, and I'm hoping that that's abated. Admittedly, I've been really relaxing and staying pretty unplugged during my vacation. And it's been a long time since I visited family. So for those of you who I do know that there's a lot of not great things happening in the world, but in terms of our, health climate and whatnot, and the politics behind it, and another reason to kind of stay unplugged and just keep doing what I've been doing all along for the past year and a half, which is, staying pretty much in my own little circle. Even though I did do a good bit of travel to get here, I I'm just doing the same thing, just being here with my parents, going to my sisters at the beach. Everybody's pretty spread out. And again, it's continuing to be outdoors, continuing to use masks. I never stopped. So, anyway, I hope you're safe and I hope you're well wherever you are, and making your life happy and good wherever that may be. I love you all. My prayers are with you as, we make lots of decisions for ourselves. Think, critical thinking is very important, and making our personal decisions can take a lot of time right now. So I hope you're taking time and space to do that. I am going to do the reading for, this is Sunday night, so I'm doing the reading for Monday. Happy August, Rabbit Rabbit, for those of you who participate in that very old tradition. I'm going to do the reading. This is the first reading for August, and it'll be for Monday, August 2nd. But oftentimes, as you know, when I do readings either at the beginning of a week or beginning of a month, it could be a monthly overtone. We'll see what the cards have to say. I'm glad to take a moment to come back and do that. I'm grateful for it. And thank you for joining me. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, it doesn't matter. I'll reintroduce myself to those of you who have been joining me for lots of times. It's nice to see you again. My name is Lisa Loring, and like, share, subscribe. I apologize again for the lighting. I didn't think to go out to the garage to get one of my dad's utility lights, but to help to improve that, I'll do that as we go on. I just was excited to get to the cards tonight. But yeah, like, share, subscribe. If you are hearing this message, it's meant for you. There's something in there for you. Or maybe something that you need to share with somebody who you know. And I'll be posting this on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So any of the formats that resonate with you or whoever needs to hear it, it'll be there. If you want your own private reading, this will be a reading for the collective. If you want your own private reading, just email me or direct message me on any of the formats. Comments are great because comments and shares are what help me get the message out to more people, get it in front of more eyes. If you do want your own private reading, you can email me also, lisa.loring@gmail.com. And again, thanks for joining me. Happy August. Sending lots of love and blessings and prayers for everybody as we navigate the changes in our lives. We try to be with people that we love. I'm very grateful that I was able to do this trip. I wasn't sure I was gonna, but I did it, and I'm really grateful that I listened, and I did that scan, that internal scan, and it took me some sitting in with myself um, to make the right choice for me. And I made it with my heart, which has been continuing to be the theme. Logic serves us in being organized, but in terms of like actually making decisions, it's a heart wisdom, listening to the way we feel. That at the end of the day, we can make logical decisions all day long, but they're often very empty when they're solely made with thought processes that I think we've all discovered have been flawed, and or at one point served us, but haven't probably served us for a long time. We're really continuing to check our belief systems. Check your heart, and don't be afraid to check your belief systems. The person, those who are afraid to look at their belief systems, to run them, to hold them up against the light, or hold them against other belief systems, or allow thoughts to question those belief systems. If we don't question them, they don't change. And guess what? As we grow, we've got to change our belief systems or expand them. That's all, or they, we have to continually look at them. We have that honesty, have that honest self-inventory. Look at them, how we feel about them. Do they fit? Really look at reality. That's the stuff that's coming up. Those are the things I'm feeling compelled to discuss as we open up this reading. And we'll see what the cards have to say. So what are the messages for Monday, August 2nd? If some of the messages are not resonant in the immediate future, they may be something that's resonant for either the week or the month. That's often the case in the readings that I do, either at the beginning of a month or the beginning of a week. Or maybe till a particular event. We have Lionsgate coming up next Sunday, August 8th. And we have a new moon in Leo happening on August 7th. And we have 3 cards that have already come out. Okay. So we have the Page of Wands. And by the way, this is the, oh my gosh, I can't, the Crystal Visions Tarot deck by Jennifer Galasso. Page of Wands. A card of receiving messages and delivering messages about things about which we're passionate, things that really spark our hearts, things that really, again, getting those messages from the heart, playing a tune, taking the time to create music and sit in music, or maybe we're finding taking the time to maybe step out of our norms and do things that are more creative, a little outside our normie norms, taking the time, more time than extra, to maybe sit and do drawing, maybe using some other kinds of mediums in order to help us hear our heart better. Oftentimes when we're doing our normal kind of stuff, we're just so rote about it that when we're just blasting through it, we're not really even like invested in it. That makes sense. And sometimes we have to do something that's a little more creative, out of our normal path, in order to have those perspective shifts, in order to change up the belief systems. Those are the kinds of things against which we hold our belief systems, to see if they hold water. There's a dragon here as well, curled around her. In fact, she's almost lulling the dragon to sleep. So sometimes, one of the things that will prevent us from looking at our belief systems are, things about which we are, things that are fearful to us, the things that go bump in the night, the things that that are afraid, and things that we're afraid to look at. But by doing something a little out of the norm, we kind of put the brain to sleep, those repetitive thought patterns to sleep, as much as, like, very similar to what she's doing in this dragon. And when those repetitive thought patterns are taken out of the mix, we can better hear our heart, and also, and then we are less afraid to look at our, look at changing our belief systems, look at, some things that are, really super entrenched, and recognize that maybe they do need some changing. And just because I'm saying changing our belief systems, that's often something that isn't changed on a dime. So if that's, resonates with you, this is something that, we don't have to, it doesn't have to be an instant makeover, right? It can be just, I feel like this isn't, just a matter of seeing that something, perhaps some way of doing things, some way of thinking, something you've been working towards, that you thought was something that was part of your heart and soul, really isn't making any sense anymore. And although it's not something that's going to change right away, this is something that, at least you can, put those thoughts, just, put those other thoughts to the side, that you insisting on following, and you're insisting on following, and now you don't even know why. You're kind of putting that to rest for a minute. And although you may not be making any changes in the short term, you're starting to make some plans, and you're starting to get creative about how you can make those plans. All right, so those are just some of the things that I just rattled right off. The other card that came up is the King of Cups, the most balanced, emotionally balanced individual in the deck. He's got, he is someone who is ultra creative. The suit of cups is something that's creative. It's not only, it's creativity of the spirit. It's really allowing the spirit to come forth. It's being creative with our emotions. It's utilizing the emotions to create, and to use the emotions as the voice of the soul that it's meant to be. Right, our hearts, again, our heart's desires are coming forth in ways, and we are able to go with the flow, with what's going on around us, in a way that's, commanding. It's not, you're not just being, like, tossed about like a tsunami, or being blown out by a tidal wave of emotion kind of thing. You're actually feeling this is someone who feels the emotions all the way from start to finish, and knows what to do with the end result, and isn't afraid to feel what he has to, isn't afraid to speak from his heart. He isn't afraid to rule from his heart, and he is in rulership over his emotions. He's not just, again, tossed about by them. So when I say speaking from the heart, and coming from the heart in our in our in our doings, in the way we conduct ourselves, in our decision processes, this is someone who, is in mastery over that. He's utilizing them as tools, and as, and again, in a very creative way. So he's taking these messages that are coming in from the heart, and, and are able to come through, because, the mind chatter and the things that we're afraid of are actually kind of lulled to sleep, because we're being more creative with our approaches. And this is someone who's actually being able to, to command other people, and to, his heartfelt expressions are something that people listen to. And, the difference between someone who's just like, you know, just speaking, and it sounds like they're speaking from it. It's canned, it's like a canned expression of who they are. This is somebody who's hardly canned. I mean, this is a really good-looking man, young, and I don't care how old you are. This is almost like, this is that voice of youth, and this is the voice of the inner child. I'm getting that, even though this is not a child in this picture. This is the voice of truth that comes from a place. It's from your inner child, which is the most truthful place that's in us. A little child never lies. A little child, like, they may spin stories, but, like, there is this, out of the mouth of babes kind of thing. I'm just, that's, that kind of imagination is coming up, and that's never, has never come up for me in this particular card. I see the full moon. We don't have a full moon coming up. It's a new moon in Leo that we're going to experience. We actually just had a full moon in Aquarius not too long ago. And so this could be, again, something, like I said, this is potentially a reading that will go bring us through. And God, I don't even know what the full moon is, but, we can take a look. When is the full moon? Blah, 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 blah. So we have the new moon coming up on the 7th. And then usually we have a full moon coming up after that. I'm going to actually look here in my Oh, you know what I can look at? My iPad. My phone one doesn't have those, the moon calendar on it, but my iPad will. Let's see, where is my calendar? There it is. Unless it doesn't. No, it doesn't. But okay, so if the full moon's on the 7th, so 2 weeks after that, it's going to be the weekend of the 21st, something around in there. So, we've got that, and that full moon will be in the sign of Pisces, actually. Which again, the water, Pisces is a water sign, and hi Pete, what's going on, big boy? Pisces is a water sign, and so and so that this may be, I was drawn to that full moon, and it is a water. It is cups are the suit of water, so that could be some of that that we're starting to see. Eight of Wands, again, many messages coming in, almost like a stampede. I've looked at this in that we have unicorn horses, or I guess that's what a unicorn is. A horse with a horn. Oh my goodness. So we have unicorn energy coming in, and I don't ever remember that there's anyway. I didn't look at the bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck is Knight of Swords. So again, messages coming in galore. It's just there's so many messages coming in, and they may be extremely emotional in their content. All right, so I'm going to angle the camera down so we can look strictly at the cards. And I've got a little bit of a more neutral background than the last time when I did this. So I'm working with what I got here. So here we have the cards in their entirety. And the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. Very grounded, very rich individual, right? Somebody who does, works with very grounding kinds of endeavors, or a very grounded kind of creativity. So, doing things that are a little more simple. I do love that there is, although there is quite a bit of artistry, this deck is actually very, very simple. And I do like, again, I'm looking at the balance. So we have a lot of heart stuff, we have a lot of emotions, but there's someone in command of his emotions here. And then we also have, even though we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Queen of Pentacles right behind him. The Knight of Swords has been coming up a lot in our readings. And then again, all of these like fiery messages coming in, like messages coming in really fast. Like, again, we're going to have to really surf and work with the energy that is underneath everything. Like we're going to feel like we've, just when we get to one thing, something else is pulling us in another direction, and that make us feel almost like we are trying to surf, and we are trying to make sense and be in every place at one time. But with this kind of energy, with the King of Cups here and the Queen of Pentacles behind it, as well, behind this Knight of Swords, this is messages coming in, and messages that'll come in and can be very, very cutting, can be it's almost like the information is all coming in so fast that you don't even know what to do with it. But if we continue to find spaces, and I've been repeating this like a broken record as well, like continually finding spaces within the course of a day, pockets of 5 minutes at a time, to get command of our emotions, to do, something very simple that may be a little outside of our norm, in order to, make sense of the messages that are coming in, because you can get this is very overwhelming energy, period. All of these fiery messages of emotion and heart and passion and all of that stuff, and can also, instead of approaching it with this hack and slash kind of energy of the Knight of Swords, or coming back with really quippy rebuttals, or old sharp energy that really isn't even appropriate to the situation, especially when you have far better command and far better tools that you can call from in your own repertoire, such as the Queen of Pentacles, such as the Knight of Cups. This is the King of Cups, excuse me. This is somebody, like I said, who has control of his emotions, can actually be very compelling by his, what he shares from that heartfelt space. And then in the 3D, coming forward with, again, even though this is man, the water element is very feminine, and we have this feminine aspect in the earth element. Earth element is also very feminine. Command of the masculine and the feminine. that has consistently come up, like I said in the last reading I did, wise leadership. I love these guys as a couple. I think they're really great. Again, Seven of Cups is also at the bottom of the deck, and the World. These are cards. This is a card that came up. There's that meditative space. Showing up in the world as somebody who is calm and operates with grace. So much grace that you now are taking this dragon, instead of having to lull it to sleep. It's something that you can take for a ride and enjoy, and then have lots of choices. Love it. I love it. So this is the energy that's coming in for Monday, the 2nd of August. But again, this could be, I have a very strong sense, especially with, like I said, that full moon that will be coming up in Pisces towards the end of August. There is the potentiality, certainly, of this being an overtone for the month. And just what I'm seeing, these are the energies that have been coming in for some time. Just continue to cultivate meditative grounding practices. So this kind of energy, which I absolutely know we're going to be dealing with during the month of August, is based on the planetary alignments. Listen to Dorothy Morgan. Listen to the Peace Dealer. Listen to Christopher Witecki, Sensei Christopher with Serious Joy. Those are three that I think are just off. They have a great message, especially Dorothy Morgan and Christopher Witecki. David Palmer's the Leo King is also fantastic. I just feel like there's an educational aspect that Dorothy and Sensei Christopher offer that for people who are not that familiar with astrology could really benefit from. And their delivery tends to, be just a little more accessible sometimes. Peace Dealer is unbelievable, and also David Palmer, the Leo King. Those are really top-notch people to all listen to. All right, so I'm going to pull one more card from the Spirit Animal deck. A lot of Spirit Animals have been coming up for me lately, as particularly birds. The heron and turtles have also been a big thing for me, coming up a lot. Turtles, heron. We had wild turkeys here in the yard the other day, if you saw pictures of my cat. And dragonflies were out and about in my sister's yard today when we had a little family gathering this afternoon for some birthdays who we're celebrating this month. Here's the book. Where's the book? Oh, here it is. Just grab the book so I can read this for you guys. By the way, I did bring the the Salvador Dali deck, and I've been reading up on it, but I'm not quite ready to read from it. I will get there. I'm working on it. That is such a rich deck, and as soon as I feel a little stronger with my I almost read from it, but not quite ready for it yet. Again, that grounding energy. How do we want to deliver the messages? I want to do it in a grounding, and right now I need to do that in my space currently in a more simple way. All right. So the dragonfly energy, master of light, illusion, and the mind. The dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder and awe. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind, as it is always moving, shifting, shimmering, and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they restless or still? Dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so the light of wisdom can shine through. When in balance, sees clearly, joyful, magical. When out of balance, can't concentrate, busy mind. To bring into balance, focus on the breath. Yeah, again, this is all stuff we've already talked about in a different some different verbiage, but find something quiet to do, find something calming to do, work on some simple kinds of simple but yet creative ways to bring the balance that you're seeking. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. I love you all. Be well, and see you. Maybe I might be back tomorrow night. My parents and we're going to the beach tomorrow, so I'm hoping to get back in and get us ready, and then be able to check in with you guys. Again, like, share, subscribe. I appreciate that. Thank you for those who do make donations, and if you want your own private reading, you know where to find me. All right, have a good one. Bye.